Hello everyone. In this video we'll discuss the differences between defining variables in JavaScript using the var, let, and const keywords. Let's begin with var. Var is an older way of defining variables in JavaScript. It is function scoped, not block scoped. That means if I define a variable using var inside a function, I cannot access it outside the function. If I try to do so, I'll get an error. I can access the variable inside the function. I can also access it inside a block. I can also access variables declared outside a function from inside the function. Next, variables defined using var can be redeclared. For example, if I declare a variable called a using var, I can declare another variable with the same name using var, and the value will simply be overridden. Variables defined using var can be reassigned, meaning I can change their values as many times as I want. Variables declared with var are hoisted and initialized as undefined. If we try to access a variable defined using var before its declaration, we'll get undefined. This happens because of hoisting, which we'll discuss in more detail in the next video. Next, let's take a look at the let keyword. Variables declared using let are block scoped. If we declare a variable using let inside a block, accessing it outside the block will throw a reference error. Next, variables declared using let cannot be redeclared in the same scope. This means if we declare a variable using let and then try to declare another variable with the same name in the same scope, JavaScript will throw an error. However, redeclaring the same variable name in a different block or scope is allowed. Variables declared using let can be reassigned, meaning their values can be changed. For both let and const, variables are hoisted but not initialized. Accessing them before their declaration will throw an error. Now that we've covered let, let's move on to constant. Both let and const are newer ways of declaring variables in JavaScript. Similar to let, const is also block scoped, so variables declared with const cannot be accessed outside the block. Variables declared using const must be initialized. We cannot leave them empty, and if we do, JavaScript will throw an error. We cannot reassign a value to a const variable. Once the value is initialized, it cannot be reassigned. Otherwise, an error will be thrown. We can still mutate objects and arrays declared with const by modifying their properties or elements. Here, by creating a new object, I'm going to modify the value of the key a. As you can see, the value of the key a has changed. For arrays declared with const, we cannot reassign the entire array, but we can modify its contents by adding, removing, or updating elements. In modern JavaScript, let and const are preferred over var because they use block scope, which reduces bugs. They behave more predictably with hoisting and prevent accidental access before declaration. Additionally, const helps keep values from being reassigned, making code safer and easier to maintain. Thank you for watching. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions.